Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping by. So today I will be doing a book review and this is entitled Out of Time. So if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I typically do a lot of reviews and this is going to be a book review. I usually, about 99% of the time, will not provide any spoilers because I hate reading reviews and I hate watching reviews in anything, books, products, any services. It's like, I wouldn't say services, I take that back. More about like books and movies and shows. I want to actually enjoy the journey and being shocked or disappointed or angry or happy related. All those emotions are very welcomed because that is a part of the experiences. So I will not be doing that. I will try anyway as much as I can. So this is the second book of the 9 Minutes trilogy written by Beth Flynn. I will provide some information from goodreads.com and then we're gonna go forward from there. So again, title of it is Out of Time. This is the second book from the 9 Minutes trilogy or series written by Beth Flynn. This is rated 4.45 out of 5 stars in goodreads.com. It says in all caps, recommended for readers 18 and older due to strong language, sexual situations, and violence. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Out of Time is book 2 in a series. It is not a standalone novel, and that is a very good point to state that out, because I feel like if you're not going to read the first one, you're going to do a really big injustice, not just with the trilogy or the book or the or what the author is trying to do, but also really to yourself. And it says, I highly recommend that you read my first novel, I agree, 9 Minutes, to be able to understand the background story of the main characters. There are many twists and turns in both books that can best be connected if read consecutively. Although I do answer the outstanding questions from 9 Minutes, there is more to this story and some readers may consider it a cliffhanger. If you do not like cliffhangers, you may want to wait until the third novel is released in 2007 and 2000, sorry, I'm dyslexic, in 2016. Well, it's already 2019 and I just actually finished this book. So I don't remember when I purchased it, but I remember purchasing all 3 of them. So I probably purchased all of them in 2016 or 2017 or 18. I don't know. But I didn't start reading them until years later. Anyway, other readers may be satisfied with the answers and the ending. Regardless of which category you fall into, I hope you enjoyed the story. The thought with his execution, it would all be over. They were wrong. The leader of one of South Florida's most notorious and brutal motorcycle gangs has been put to death by lethal injection. Days later, his family and friends should have been picking up the pieces, moving on. Instead, they've been catapulted into a world so twisted and dangerous, even the most ruthless among them would be stunned to discover the tangled web of deception. I know I keep touching my hair. It's just I have my fan on because it's really kind of warm for me. I know this is not really a heavy sweater and it's not really a thin sweater, but I don't know. I just feeling kind of like it's a little warm today. So I kind of thought this sweater would be nice. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I'm just, you know, someone might be wondering, like, why does she keep doing that? Why does she keep doing that? It's just, I feel like my hair just keeps going to my face a little bit, like maybe a strand or two, and it's pretty annoying to me. So I'm sorry about that if anybody is annoyed by that. So where was I? His family and friends should have been picking up the pieces, moving on. Instead, they've been catapulted. I already read that. Catapulted into a world so twisted and dangerous, even the most ruthless among them would be stunned to discover the tangled web of deception, not only on the dangerous streets of South Florida, but all the way to the top. In this gripping follow-up novel to 9 Minutes, Out of Time, readers from the sun-drenched flatlands of 1950s Central Florida to the vivid tropical heat of Fort Lauderdale to the halls of Florida's death row, as we finally learn the gritty backstory of Jason, quote-unquote, Grizz Talbot, and the secret he spent, open quote, Grizz, close quote, Talbot, and the secret he spent his life trying to conceal. Not even Griss's inner circle knows his full story. The tragedy that enveloped his early life, the surprise discovery that made him the government's most wanted and most feared, and the depths of his love for Ginny. The tender-hearted innocent he'd once abducted and later made his wife. Yeah. Once Griss's obsession and now the mother of his child, Ginny has spent years grieving the man she'd first resisted and then came to love. Now remarried to Tommy, a former member of the gang, the pair have spent more than a decade trying desperately to live a normal existence, far from the violent, crime-ridden world they'd once carved out on the edge of Florida Everglades. For Tommy, especially, the stakes are high. Desperately in love with Ginny for years, he's finally living his dream, married to the woman he never thought he could have. But even with the facade of normalcy, thriving careers, two beautiful children, and a genuinely happy and loving marriage, they can't seem to put the past behind them. Every time they turn around, another secret is revealed, unraveling the very bonds that hold them together. And with Griss finally put to death, now Ginny has learned secrets so dark, so evil, she's not even sure she can go on. Will these secrets tear their love to pieces? And how far will Griss go to protect what he still considers his, even from beyond the grave? This was published back in July 21st, 2015. And I don't know why, but the genres that this belonged to are just romance and dark. I would probably add young adult, new adult, abuse. I would add that. Yeah, there's some really darkness in this book. I just have my my tea in here. It's just some chai. So anyway, when I first read the first book, I was really very hesitant about it, but I'm like, you know what? I've had this book for a while now. It's either I give it a shot or I just not read them, which I don't think I'd ever do that. I always want to give a book a shot. And if I just can't deal with it, I don't like it, I hate it or something, I just delete it. It's easier to do that anyway than, putting it in a box and forgetting all about it and then tossing it in a bin instead of like donating it or somewhere. But anyway, so I started with the first book and it really was tough for me because it had this darkness in there and it had like taboo moments and like really, it made me gag at some point. Like it was like, ugh, like this is disgusting. However, Beth Flynn has a way of like wrapping this up in silk, like really luxury grade silk ribbon, and wrapping that around them with like the prettiest, fluffiest, most gigantic bow ever. She's able to write something so dark, so might be considered dirty from other people's point of view, and turn it around and make it seem like it's not such a bad thing. I know some people might probably think of this series is like being enabling an abusive person, like it's a really bad thing. I don't think it is. The first one really was, I think it was similar to in that kind of mindset. However, this is such a weird like trilogy for me. So far I'm really enjoying it and I'm really shocked about that. I really thought I would hate the first book. I really thought I would hate it and I couldn't put it down. Same with the second one. There's so many twists and turns, and I think it really is the pattern in this trilogy. If sometimes I'm kind of like, it takes me a while to articulate. I had a concussion a few days ago and I'm really trying to push myself. to, you know, brighten yourself up, because when you have a concussion, there's a certain dip that makes you depressed, make you feel down, just makes you kind of like lethargic and fatigued. And I think I've been crawling myself out of that, and now I'm just kind of seeing the light. And you know, I'm really trying to, oh, I see the light, I'm trying to speed up and just stay up there. So if my words are kind of a little choppy, it's because of that, and I apologize for that. But I will go back to the book. So anyway, to me, this book, it goes to certain backgrounds. It actually, if you read the first one, the book really, the book goes through different decades. It goes through so many different decades. There's still a lot of like mystery in there, and an intrigue, and like just a lot of wonderings of what. And you get to learn more about the characters. The characters are very well written. It makes me feel like they're right here. It makes me feel like they're right next to me, which is really, really amazing. You know, like I can literally see Grizz's reaction, his face, his scowl, his mannerisms, his facial expressions. Same with Ginny, same with Tommy. It's just, and it's a very complicated book, in a sense that I'm trying to make sure I'm not giving out any spoilers. That's why I'm kind of having difficulty also articulating this. This book alone just talks about different decades. And I believe the current year is like 2001. So that is, the present is 2001. So it goes back to, I believe, the 50s. It goes back through decades, and it teases you sometimes. It like, here's a little bit of info, but I'm not going to give you, like, I'm not all in. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. So there's a little bit of like masochistic, in a sense that you're like, wait, what? I want more of that detail, of that information. You can't just stop it right there and not move on and talk about something else. Everybody that has been talked about in the first one, most of them are going to be in this one, and there are going to be other characters as well that are probably mentioned, and probably going to what is that? Explain more, I guess. Spread out. This made me gasp, like, you know, and I think this is the theme of because the first book also made me gasp. It also, you know, made me sad, and like it does give you like that emotional roller coaster, like all your emotions just put in a blender and you're like mush after. And this actually was very exhilarating and very, very kind of exhausting, in a sense, because there's so many twists and turns. There's so many, it's just a web of lies. It's just one lie was supporting this and the other lie was supporting this, and you really are wondering, like, okay, so this is the truth and this is the lie. So how did this happen? You know, like, how did the reality become a lie, and back and forth, and there are just a lot of like question marks. There are certain things from the first book that will be answered to this, but not all of them will be. And of course, there are also going to be more questions. Just because you shut one door, 5 doors open after that. It's like whack-a-mole. It really is like, I'm like, what just happened? Wait, what? I do recommend that if you want to read this book, if you're interested in reading this book, I do recommend you get all three at the same time, because if you will read a different book in between, I think you're going to regret that and you're going to be extremely lost. I read this right after the first one and I was still kind of lost. I still had to go back a little bit because I'm like, what? Wait, what? No, like, there were just a lot of things. There's just a lot of things, like, I'm lost. Literally lost. And then I go back and I'm like, okay, so I'm back on track, I think. And I think it's a little misleading in that sense. And you believe, like, oh, you know, we're just having a good little walk and I think I'm on the right path, and then boom. It's like a hailstorm. You just, what? A hailstorm in the summer? What happened? Like, it feels like that, you know, like something extremely unexpected just happens and just hits you to your face. And it's just, I know I said exhausting, but also really, really beautiful. This is such a delicious book and delicious trilogy. Like, it's dark, it's different, it's taboo, but it's also very dark and sexy and mysterious and exhilarating and addictive. I gotta say, I mean, some people might have difficulty admitting to something like that because of the content and the storylines, and not one but multiple ones. But it's one of those things that, you know, you don't want to think about it or talk about it. It does exist in the world, and when it's really there, it's like you can't just stop knowing about it, you know. So I recommend this book so much. I give this a 2 thumbs up. I do give this a 9 out of 10 stars because I feel like there's a few things that are not matching. But I haven't finished, I'm not finished with the third one. I feel like but this is just for this book, you know. I'm not reviewing the whole trilogy, so I can't really just say, oh yeah, this is gonna be this rating because of all three. No, for this alone, I think 9 out of 10 stars is what I give. It's really beautifully written. It just, there's so much depth. There's so much depth in the characters that you can't help but fall in love with Grizz, with the whole situation. I never thought I would ever say that, but I just did. And so I do recommend this book a lot. It's really dark, and I mean, I recommend this book, but I'm also going to be like, this is really dark, really, really, really dark. It's violent, it's taboo. There's going to be nitty gritty in here, but it's a very enjoyable read. It's a very juicy, delicious read. But if you are one of those that are really hesitant in taboo and dark storylines, I will still even encourage you to read it. And just be aware of what you're getting into, so you're not gonna be like completely shocked, and maybe you're gonna feel like you're gonna throw the book out the window or something. So I still recommend this book a lot. And if you guys have other books you can recommend that are probably similar to this, same type of writing, same beautiful, delicious writing, please let me know down below. I would love to know what you guys have read, reread, loved in the past, or loving. I would like to know if I have them and I'll start reading them, or if I don't, I would love to purchase them. Thank you so much, guys. And don't forget to also, if you want to just discuss the book, chit chat, feel free to let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys all the time. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, and the bell so you'll be notified whenever I do upload a new video. Don't forget to expand the description box because as much as possible, I always try to get coupons for you guys, discount codes, and other goodies like that. I also have my Twitter information, Instagram, Snapchat, and for business inquiries, I have my email there as well. Thank you guys, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.